Girl wakes up from 3-year coma and tells doctors what parents did. Laura Van Wren was a normal student who grew up in a big family of 4 and was excited to finally start college. She wanted to make the most out of life, and so no one could have imagined what would happen to her. Laura was on a school trip with her classmates and teachers. She was excited for a fun day and was really looking forward to it. She was even going to be with her good friend Whitney Sarek, which made it even more exciting. The group were traveling together in a van, and the field trip had gone extremely well. In fact, they were all having so much fun, they were not ready to leave. But sadly, it was time to go, and so they all piled back into the van to head back to school when suddenly something horrific happened. A driver in another vehicle came out of the blue and hit their van, and instantly both vehicles flew across the road. It happened so quickly, and everyone tried to flee and check on each other. But sadly, the accident was so bad that 5 people passed away. Laura herself was on the cusp of death, but she was raced to hospital to try and save her life. Luckily, she was unconscious but still alive, and so her siblings and parents stayed right with her. There was always at least one of them by her side in case she came around and needed comfort. Doctors were unsure if Laura would make it as she soon fell into a coma, and everyone knew it would be a miracle if she did survive. As Laura tried to recover, her family continued to speak to her, even whilst she was in the coma, and sadly they had to break the news that her good friend Whitney had died in the accident. They spent time telling her about Whitney's funeral and how beautiful it was. And little by little, Laura started to get better. But when she finally came out of her coma and revealed what she knew, it would shock everybody. Upon hearing Laura's first words, the doctors were stunned when Laura told them she wasn't actually Laura. She was, in fact, Whitney Sarek, who everyone thought had died, and Laura was the one who had passed away. You see, it turned out Laura and Whitney were not only close friends, they also looked very similar with the same blonde hair and features that no one realized the mistake. And with all the injuries from the accident, it made it even harder to tell them apart. It wasn't until they discovered a belly button piercing, which they didn't remember Laura having when everyone put the pieces of the puzzle together. Whitney was even told details about her own funeral her parents held for her. The tragedy ultimately brought both families closer together, and Whitney made a full recovery. She managed to rebuild her life and became a physical education teacher. She kept in touch with Laura's family as well, and even contributed to their book about the ordeal called Mistaken Identity.